Cool. Welcome, everybody. Hello, welcome to CDR Online. My name is Tony Nwachukwu. How are you doing? You good? If this is your first time coming to CDR, CDR is Creative Time Release, I should say, is an organisation. CDR sessions are sessions that are primarily offline in club spaces with great sound systems. And during this pandemic, we've taken the sessions online. We are graced with the presence of a fantastic producer, Cooly G. Give it up in the chat.
Cool.
And for the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to go through, talk about her career, deconstruct one of her tracks, and just generally catch up. We were blessed to have Cooly as one of our guests when we ran a session called CDR Knowledge way back, which was an amazing session. And obviously we've been, checking with her, seeing her career grow and evolve. I'm going to get some insight on that now. The way this session will work is that for the next 45 minutes, hour or so, we'll be with Cooly talking through her career. And she's going to show us one of the tracks that she'd recently released. We're going to deconstruct it. And then after that, we've got OPN. OPN is our open submission DJ set of tracks that have submitted exclusively for the session. If you wanted to submit a track, there's still time. The link will be in the chat. You've got some time to get your track in if you want to hear your track during the open session. If this is your first time, you're welcome. These sessions will be run online for the foreseeable future, I guess. Let's see how the pandemic runs out. So if you want to check us out and find out more what we're doing, check out the website, cdr-projects.com, or socials, CDR HQ on Facebook, and at CDR Projects on Twitter. So yeah, without further ado, Cooly, how are you doing, madam?
Hey, I'm good. I'm fantastic, actually, yes.
Well, I'm really happy that you're fantastic. When we were putting these together, these sessions together, it was almost like a big smile on my face where we were able to work with you again. Like I said earlier, you were one of the first guests we had for the CDR Knowledge sessions that we used to do, which is essentially, an interview like this with a track deconstruction with an audience, a captive audience in a physical space, right? And that was a really insightful session. You were jokes, you're proper jokes. So that was a while back. It was almost like, I don't know, about 8 years ago now. So obviously a lot's happened since then in the world, of course. But for you personally, how have you evolved as an artist, producer, and DJ in that time?
Oh my gosh!
No, it's a deep.
Right, have you got time? Have you got time?
Yeah,
no, listen.
Got time.
So basically, I mean, when we met, I think I was doing a lot of the UK funky sound and, just DJing, and probably, I think I was just like, I don't even know if I was aware that I was even traveling the world. So it was kind of like crazy for me. And having children and having to fly out everywhere and doing all this stuff. And then I started to like realize what I was actually doing. And then like I've done those 2 albums, which were like electronic R&B kind of thing. And that music, obviously, it changed for you guys, but not for me, because I'm into every genre. But when I first came out, people just heard like Love Dub and Nast, and they probably just thought that's what I do. And then I evolved in doing an album which was like more singing and more like chilling out, listening music. And then I done the other album, which was a little bit more edgier, same kind of vibe, singing and stuff like that. And I've done like loads of like instrumental beats, house, crazy broken beats, grime, and all that stuff. And then now I'm just excited about what I'm doing now because it's just crazy. But it's not even Cooly G, because I got my alter ego and she's Holiday. So please follow Holiday on Instagram or wherever, so you can see what's going on, because it's not coming from Cooly G. It's like my other side, who's just And then the music is so banging.
Mhm. Well, we'll talk about Holiday in a second. So, um, so I guess you've gone through this, process of kind of exploring, right? Different themes, different genres. Was that a conscious thing for you to do in retrospect? Were you trying to kind of, explore different sounds and textures and see what comes out the other end, or was it quite strategic in terms of, wanting to, almost like challenge yourself as a producer and artist to try these different genres and not to be kind of, kind of boxed in?
No, I think when I was doing Playing Me, I was literally going through some stressful things, and every time I make music, whatever I'm experiencing is the sound that comes out. So if I'm angry, I make them hard tracks. If I'm emotional, I make emotional tracks. So I never ever planned to say I'm going to make an R&B track or a proper dark track. It was just the way how I felt on that day. So everything that's been rolling is just definitely, it's just come from how I felt that day. You know what I mean? And or that month or whatever. So when I done Playing Me, I think I took some time to do that. And when I done Wait Till Night, I literally made the kids go to my mum's for 2 weeks, and I banged out the whole album in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a bit mad. It was like every day sleeping next to the mic and then waking up and just like straight on it. So it was kind of crazy.
How have you navigated, parenthood with music with music? I mean, it's often a challenge, right? Particularly when, you knew life before having children, and the kind of flexibility and, kind of impromptu nature of kind of, of one's life, and suddenly, obviously, when you get kids and have, more layers of responsibility, wonderful responsibility, of course. I mean, how did you navigate that?
Oh my God, you know what? I think it's really crazy because I don't really know. It's only like now that we've been on lockdown, I've been thinking about my whole last like 14 years, like, how did I do that? But I literally, I don't know. Like, I just was like, well, I've got kids, I'm a single mom, and I've got to do what I've got to do and keep it moving. And I was managing to breastfeed and like put in the bottles in the freezer for my dad to look after my daughter when I just had her, and go back on tour for 8 months. It was actually mad. Like, it was just like, it weren't no thinking about it. I'd come home, I'd be like, you lot, bye, I'm mum again. And then it just was just working. And when you want to do it, when you're hungry, I just think that, you can manage it. Like, I had my daughter in my lap when I'm making tunes. Like, hold me. I had her in my hand when I was making that beat. Or they're climbing on my back and I'm making the tune. They're involved in everything I'm doing. And they enjoy it as well. I just don't know how I managed to do it. But sitting back and thinking about it, it's like, wow, that was really dramatic.
Sure. I mean,
it's serious.
No, of course. I think it's a real blessing to hear that I mean, you just do what you have to do. You're right. You just have to make it happen. And obviously, a lot of respect and big up to your dad for kind of, supporting you there with the box. Having that kind of small but really important network, right? So
definitely.
Yeah. So we'll talk about Holiday in a second. I'm really curious to know why you felt the need to kind of create this alter ego, considering that you've spent.
Can you see my tattoo? Wait, can you see my tattoo?
I'll see it later. So you've gone in. You've gone in with
I've literally got the tattoo on my body, and I met somebody, and he's a really, really cool guy, and we were talking about some stuff. I was telling him what I want to do and that, and for some reason this name came up, and I was like, oh my God, that's the name. And then everything just went all in shape. I ended up in the studio. The sound was dramatic. I was like, whoa. Like, it just was all naturally flowing, you know what I mean? So I'm happy to be Holiday when I'm Holiday, because she's just dramatic.
It's almost like she came to you, right? Do you know what I mean? Because I think, you know, what's interesting is that you've navigated, you know, being Cooly G, you know, transcending genres, transcending styles, you know, comfortably, right? But I get the sense that that wasn't enough for you, hence, you know, Holiday emerging.
It definitely wasn't enough because with Cooly G, like, you know, we have this great music and music that people try to copy. I get messages from people asking me if they could, like, if I could show them my drum patterns and stuff like that. But I say no, because that don't make no sense to me. But where you know, I'm doing this, where with Cooly G, it's like gone this way and it's gone that way and it's done brilliant and it's gone here and there, and I've even been on the Grammy Awards magazine. I've been in the Source magazine top 10, you know, like all the stuff that's happened. It's been great, but it's just, it seems like it's just like, and you know, I mean, I'm doing shows, thousands of people, but it's just, it's not going to that bit. And I'm a real musician. I'm not a play singer. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've grown up with music. So Cooly G seems like it's just there and kind of underrated in some way as well. Yeah. Okay. And that's been a conversation with other DJs and producers and stuff that's been speaking to me saying, wow, like some of this shit should have been like, and I'm like, well, yeah, but you know, maybe it weren't promoted properly. You know, like how other people do like loads of videos and all of this stuff and it gets viral, and do you know what I mean? Like we weren't really doing that. Like I've literally got 2 videos on Hyperdub out of like 50 tunes.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Of course I do. I mean, that's a really interesting point. I think what's really, I mean, you know, maybe we should talk about this another time actually, because I think there's definitely something to be said about, you know, artists that came from the quote unquote underground, you know what I mean? Quote unquote, when the internet was more about the music and music being disseminated through DJs and sound system culture, right? As opposed to music being disseminated visually through social media and through YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I think there's definitely something around people who, you know, whose mode of communication and mode of distribution was in physical spaces, you know, or on the airwaves, on pirate or whatever. So I do hear what you're saying. You know, it's a really interesting. It's really interesting. We should definitely try to explore that. But before we delve into, you know, talk about Holiday more, let's go back to Cooly G and go into this track that you're going to share with us. So it was a remix, right? Tell us how it came about before we delve into.
So basically, the original track is produced by a girl called Sharon Rose, and she got like a bunch of all these new up and coming MCs that are really good and stuff. And there's one boy on there that I actually know from when I used to teach in Raw Material in Brixton, and she approached me and was like, oh, I really want to get a remix from you, blah blah blah. And at that time, I think I was just not doing anything anyway. I was just chilling. And I thought, you know what, let me do a little remix. But I was going to actually remix it in a house track. But then when I listened to the flows and everything, I thought, no, I'm not going to chop up all of this to put it in a house track. So I basically made my own grime track, very, very dark version of their version. And I just went for it. And I had a lot of, I went through a lot doing the track because I was trying to do, I think it was trap. I think I tried to do trap beat. I tried to do like all different beats. And I was like, no, I was actually getting mad with this remix. And then when I found the sound, I was like, oh, wow, like I love that. So I'm happy with it. And when Spyro's been playing it, I was like, oh, wow, thank you.
Well, let's have a listen. You know? Yeah, let's have a listen, and then let's talk through what you ended up with.
Yeah, I'm gonna play their rap as well.
Yes, please.
Hopefully it doesn't stop in the middle of it.
Yes,
okay, are we getting sound? Is it coming through?
I'm blessed, but I'm not in the church. Bring your best, complain that your brain don't work. I'm bringing pain if you wanna get left by lurch. When a bus gonna wet up, you know you wish on a microphone alone, my tone you, oh please, that's kinda like 3 against 2 ODs. Not a fair fight or flight and say cheese. Cause I visualize you in my mind so happy when you realize that your rhymes are crime. Rap don't matter how much you practice, hardly. Scratching the surface, that is for certain, skin deep.
Straight off the drop, hitting with the wow. Used to throw up the reds, but these weren't no fouls. Them man aside, so we call them beans. Yeah, I stay on the mains like my first name's Chow. Them man get X out when it's I'm back now like it's Otis. If they chat, get turned to a +44 run the line like it's not. Who's this?
They don't want it with me, I'm too shelly. On these, but my last name's Kelly. Don't act like my don't stink, it's so smelly. If you step in the ring, 1 shot to your belly, done told them already. Not here to play games, wanna set pace, won't pet to name names. The way I fight shots, you'd think I spray flames. So far from the norm, I may be insane.
I stay never timid, always chilling. You get friend zone, that's how you know women. Bar killing, flames when I'm on tracks. I kill rhythms, don't biggie, I got packs. My tie to the face, on back, boom, I might scrap, I don't lack. They thought I was light skin, I'm the grim reaper, my soul stays black. Kodak.
Off the bat, my flow's crack. Shot another 8, I know you're feeling, hold back. I know we'll be great, won't wait to be told back. I know all my haters hold back. Could say that I'm sinning. I'm on another level 1 that you can't reach, and I will always hold the crown cause I'm winning, innit?
Make a man gone. Listen about let's I just monkey boo. Others are I. Don't you leave. If you wanna see me bury these MCCs, just jump. We did it. Doing it again like I was Creed. Line, yeah, that's EE. But I'm an old school guy, that's TT. Easy, kill a man, that's easy. Yeah, for the man where the flow come greasy. Ding dong, that shit go coming to please me. Back on the thing, she didn't really wanna tease me, no. She done her thing and goes. Left her face white just like ghosts. Say it come long just like hoes. I don't like to boast, but I'm hella higher. Red eyes, so I pull down the visor. Touchdown with a big bag of roaring tobacco, and I swear I had a lighter. Either way, I'ma bring that fire. Every page, I'ma raise more fire. Other day, on a page, wrote a spray and I called that fire. So this fire, I do it for the entire London. Better know, say South London. There, enough man like a vampire slayer. You better say a prayer. Don't turn up to the way in, cause you man don't way up. Hella high up. Your wife said you better stay in. Go bed and it's
yo, I'm always strapped in my lyric book and my rucksack. Strapped with a map book and my rucksack. And the Cali stinking from the side bag. Bandana on, yeah, and my black vans. Who's ready for the takedown? Let me break down from young bin, spitting to the sand. Still am every day, not on occasion. Trust I'm strapped with a pen 9 times out of 10. Not trying to blend, I'm moving different. Look, I'm a significant participant. I'm a nice girl, but I'm not innocent. Get that tech, nice girl for fool. Get left back, show them ASAP. I'm not the one. I came fully strapped like a loaded gun. Rucksack on my back, said bring it on. Rucksack on my backside, bag on the side. Main girl, not a side girl, one side. Never a side man, cause my standards high. With the main man, if you with I. Strapped to the Neptunes, many of them. Lyrically equipped, got the beat again. Tomboy, I'm lit, bring the heat to them. I said your whole crew, I ain't feeling them. They're on helium, they sound funny. Yeah, all your funny friends, they're all dummies. They'll get bun again. I bet money, leave them stumbling, they're not gully. They're not from the E3, but a man easy, make a man easy. After that, I'm gone with the pen.
Yeah.
Yay. Fire.
So that was the track, and obviously everyone knows me for bass, and that was my main concentration in doing a lot of bass in that.
Sure thing. Well, let's just break this down. So maybe take it from the drum elements first. So before you talk about that, you said that in order to get to what we had just heard, you went through a whole process of trying out different ideas and experimenting. So was that, you talked about having the original idea of having a house version first. So you put that to one side. So was it maybe you starting at a particular kind of faster tempo and on some slower tempo and refining it, or was it how did you what was your process in terms of getting to what we heard now?
So basically, when I thought straight away that I was going to do the remix, like I took the job and everything, whatever, and then I was just like sitting there like, oh, I guess they want to hear what Cooly G does, the 128 kind of thing. But then when I sat there and I listened to the vocals, because I didn't listen to the original beat, I only listen to the vocals when I do remixes. So I basically was sitting there, I was like, no, I don't want to chop up all of this shit just to try and make it match that tempo when it's like another how much more like numbers up in beats per minute. So I realized that it could work with trap, like that proper American trap shit, which I have been making as well on the side. And And then basically I made a trap beat and I was like, nah, that beat's for me, bruv. Like the beat. Too bad.
Park that to one side. That's mine.
That tune was too tough. And even this beat, I didn't want to give it away after. I was like, nah. But then I was like, no, they need this beat. They need this remix. Exactly. You know what I mean? They need the gully side. Because the other one is quite commercial and bubbly in it, but obviously they need like the bad gal one.
Yeah.
So I basically got this one ready for them, and I was very happy at the end of it because it was a mad journey. But the trap beat's mine now.
I'm sure we'll hear that pretty much soon enough. So let's solo up the kick, snare, hi-hat. So that they, first of all, the sounds are from EXS, right? Just straight up EXS?
Yeah. Straight up. So the first track is one of the kicks, which is not that much going on here, which you'll hear. This is like a very quiet kick. Let me turn up my headphones. And what I'll do is I'll just add the hi-hats, and the hi-hats were just very simple as well. And like these bits are just like, when I'm doing these bits, sometimes I'm not even thinking about it. I think when I get to the bass is when I start to mess around with the hi-hat afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
can lay a foundation first, right? Just focus on just creating a bed first, and then
it's just like so I can like pop my head and tap my foot instead, because I don't like the metronome thing. I hate that. It gets on my nerves. And then I put these snares. So this was similar to making like a hip hop beat. So if you hear it, it's like it's a normal. Like back in the day when we used to start making beats, we like if my brothers were like beatboxing and shit, this is like a beatbox.
Sure.
Quite easy. Like this track actually came out super easy.
Gotcha. I'm assuming they're the 808 samples, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just started adding.
Cool. Kind of staccato. So in terms of the processing, I don't see any processing on your drums. Is that deliberate?
What do you mean? Like, on here, you mean?
Yeah. So pretty much just straight up.
No, because I think what's happened is when I looked for the track, this is the original page, and the mastered one I think's on my other laptop, but I don't use my other laptop no more.
Okay.
So I think this is like the standard versions. But when I mixed it down and everything, but I could quickly touch it up while I'm online live now to show you.
Well, let's just what.
So these are just all the creeping little. This is where I wanted it to be a bit gully, like that kind of deep, because they're all spitting hard and that. Yeah.
So in terms of the selection of, if you just stop it for 1 second. So I guess so kind of starting rhythm, kind of setting a kind of the carpet, but to as you said, tap your foot or whatever. So when it comes to the strings, are there go-to patches that you go for in terms of getting that sound? So is it obviously just like first violin? Is there
I have to wait to hear like if it sounds greasy, like because some of them sound like they got strings in the background. Some of them are like ugly, and I tried to find one that was like where your face is like this. That's what I was thinking probably at the time. Like it has to be like like
screw face string.
One thing and all that shit. So. Oh my god! Yes, I definitely thought about like the sound of the string though. I definitely thought about it because I wouldn't have used a timpan sound. You get me? So for me, it had to be a little bit more greasy, and it was just standard sounds as well. Where I've swapped over to this new computer, basically I haven't moved all of my own made sounds into this new computer yet. So basically when I do that, I'll have all my own, because I've made my own sounds. I've made my own, like ways of how I plug in shit and all that.
Mm-hmm. So would you say, in order to get, that kind of greasy, string sound, it is all about just it being raw in your face, very little, I'm guessing that, very little reverb, very little processing. It's literally just a dry, raw sound. That's what kind of gives you, is that what you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to be honest, when you're just using like normal sounds, you've got to, I have obviously gone -24 or my -12 on it. I think, let me just double check what I did on this one, because I've had to have turned them down. Oh, yeah, I think I've got one at 12 plus 12, which is a bit higher. And some of them I played probably lower down on the keyboard. So basically, it worked and it sounded fine. It sounded fine to me, but sometimes I'd go minus on the depthness of it. But I was happy with the sound how it is, because it was, for me, it was matching the MCs and stuff like that.
Yeah, the intensity of the MCs for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we move on?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna keep those two violins in and go straight down to the extra kicks and snares. Okay. And then I done double ups as well. So basically, when I add this in it.
Yeah. Okay. Can I act like an accent, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, this other channel underneath is me doubling up it, because, wait, let me double check if that's right. Have I unmuted everything? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So I've put like loads in this section. I think I glued it all together because I'm not sure why I did that, because I can't remember.
That's okay.
But I definitely glued it together. And then what I've done at the bottom here, while I'm unmuting, is basically the other parts of the bass kick. So if I just mute those quickly, just mute these.
I love the interplay between the accent and the sub, kind of almost like almost like a call and response kind of thing.
Yeah, like, I think because I've never done this, like probably sitting down and showing people like how I did this or whatever. But it's interesting to do this still. So I'll just bring back the hi-hats one.
Yeah.
Can we have a look? To be honest, go on.
No, you go.
Yeah, no, basically, so I was just saying that it's quite interesting doing this, because, I wouldn't have done this before.
Sure thing. And I think what's also really brilliant, and, thank you for sharing this, is that, I guess when you're in the moment, when you're making the track, you're so focused on, the vibe of it, and, you're just in the thick of it, right? So I guess what you're doing now is almost like you're reflecting on, that experience that you had making it, that kind of, being in the zone and being really focused on the actual making it work, rather than now what, you can kind of look back at what you did. Can we have a look at the kick drum, the sub kick?
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It's all the way at the bottom. Can you see it a little bit?
Yeah, we saw, if you scroll up a bit.
All
just,
of the...
Yeah.
I can try to... Yeah, my screen's acting dramatic. Let me try and make it smaller so I can bring it up here. Yeah. Can you see it?
There you go. We can see it now. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it makes sense. But basically, it's just not even that much. But I'll play that by itself, so you can just.
Yeah, cool. And is that another stock sound as well? Is that what kind of?
yeah, that's just normal sounds.
sounds
But I just like. There's one favorite beat. There's one favorite thing I like on the EX-S24. It's not even a bass, yeah. It's an actual kick.
Okay.
I use it a lot for bass underneath something sometimes. But I'm surprised. Yeah, but sometimes I might put a lot of reverb on it or a delay. Like on the mix down bit, and I just need to check the mixer to see if there's anything I've done on here, because this is like the beginning of the track. But I'll have a quick look. Right, what did I just say? Hide mixer? No, we need to see the mixer.
You want to view the mixer?
Yeah. It's hiding from me.
Maybe press X and see what happens. If you press X on your keyboard, I think it's... And then X again.
Oops. Right, here we go. Let me make it bigger. Yeah, so if you see some of these up here, yeah, I've put like delays in and some reverbs on some of them, because that's some of the that I use on like a standard like tune.
Got you.
I don't really use that much on like beats like this.
Because it's all about the rawness, right?
Yeah, it's definitely all about the rawness. Plus lately as well, I haven't really been using much of a lot of shit. Most of the effects now are in the vocals that I've been doing. I've been working with, I told you, OK Zarp on the holiday stuff, and Clipsy, the artist I've been working with, and he's shown me something different, like when it comes to like doing vocals. And this is working with people that are in the like drill scene, and to see how they do it, I've like blended it in with my sound now, and it's like mad the way how they do their audio vocals. I've like took like one or two things from them and just blended it with my thing. So it's quite interesting when you meet other people, like, and it's good to collaborate, man. Like, I swear, it's been the happiest time. This just before the lockdown, I think I was going studio from like after I came back from Los Angeles, like December, January, February, literally like every weekend, 12 hours a night, and then I'll go home and bath and another 12 hours. So every weekend I was doing that, and then lockdown happened. I was like, like, what am I going to do? But basically, in that couple of months that I was doing it, I was working with writers, female writer, the art manager was there. You know, like we just had a crew. There was a chef there. They were making food. It was like so good. You know, like just having people around and having a laugh and having a break, having a power nap and getting back up and doing your thing. It was just like a team, innit? And remember, I've been doing my thing on my own.
Sure, that's single mother business, right? Yeah, sure, totally. Yeah.
So being around people and them like saying, oh, no, wait, what do we think about this? Like, or, you know, I mean, just having conversation with people while you're in the midst of doing like the recording. And we've had people, different types of people sitting in the sessions, and just like, it's been really, really different, and I'm enjoying working with people. It's just so good.
Well, it's that camaraderie, isn't it? I think a lot of the time, you know, there's obviously different ways of working with different people, and you know, it really helps if you're working with like-minded people and people get where you're going. You know, even if you're trying some mad things, you know what I mean? If people just, you know, seeing that kind of, you know, anything from heads nodding or people showing physical, you know, or you know, just whatever. It just really helps, doesn't it? Just, you know, it's just,
or a little boom, like, exactly, you know, like when they really get gassed, and you're just gassed, like, raw. Let me just go in, like, and even with singing, like, I tell you what, holiday songs are so dramatic. Yeah, I got a song called Rude Boy, and I tell you what, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to sing this in front of these people? Like, it's so explicit. Like, how am I gonna sing the words that I want to say proper sexy with these lot looking at me? And then for some reason we've just built this whole relationship with everyone. We're all laughing and joking, and then I go in there and it's like I'm like holiday, and I just don't care. And I'm like, they're like, rah, bruv, like that's sick, you know, like. It's been an experience, and I'm loving it, to be honest, working. And I've just done my video last week, and I've just got a phone call to say that I need to do 2 of my scenes again. So I'm a bit like, oh, I've got to do the whole dress up, same thing again.
Got you. That's going to be worthwhile.
But yeah, I'm excited because I'm doing visuals. Yeah, I've got 4 videos booked. So I'm just doing back-to-back videos. I want people to be watching stuff as well as listening to my stuff, not just hearing beats.
Sure.
You know,
I guess you know, let's I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and then, you know, let's unpick that a little bit more, actually, because I'm really curious to hear more. So with this remix now, you know, we've seen the bass, we've seen the drums, we've seen the strings, and as you said, because you wanted it to be raw and gully, you know, it's literally all, you know, it is what it is, apart from, you know, a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay, but the whole presence of the track is that it's very kind of raw and in your face, right? Did you apply the same kind of thinking to the lyrics, in terms of how you worked with them? They sounded pretty raw and pretty much in your face. Was that your intention, and how was that reflected in the actual remix itself in the project?
Definitely to be, because
Sorry, can you say that one more time? I think, let's have a look now. I think let's give it. There you go, man. Pandemic transmission business. You guys all know about this one, right? You all know. Let's give it a couple more seconds. But yeah, while we wait for Cooly G to come back, yes, what do you think about what you heard? Yeah, bung your questions in the chat. Also, what are your thoughts about what you've just heard? You know, any comments on the track that you've heard? You know, does her production process resonate with you in any way? Is this the way you work, or not the way, you know, or do you work in a different way? Yeah, put your comments in the chat. Let's talk through it. Just waiting for your questions to come through. Yeah, while we're here, I'm just going to give you a quick heads up on upcoming sessions. Here we go.
Hello, hi.
Hey. Is that Cooly G by any chance?
No, it's holidays. Holiday. I'm joking.
Oh no, we could definitely speak to her later.
I don't have to like do. You see the audio movers?
Yes.
I don't.
No, we're good with it now. No, we're good now. We're good. I guess what I wanted to, you know, to kind of, you know, conclude what we listened to. I just wanted for you to maybe talk a little bit about your approach to, you know, how you worked with the vocals. They sounded, you know, pretty much as they do. You know, yeah, if you could just turn your camera on for us so we can see your...
Is it on? Is it not on?
We can see your icon.
Oh, don't lie. All right, let me turn it on.
That's all right. Yeah, so while you're doing that, you know, so it sounded like the vocals were pretty much straight up raw, right? Is that true?
Yeah, let me go through it. Let me just double. All right. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So yeah. So
what happened is there's a little bit of delays in here, but what happened is on one of when I first got the tracks.
Mhm. Yeah, the internet gremlins, man.
There was and basically it was too much. It was just slowing down the computer.
Yeah.
So what I did.
Sorry, Cooly, we lost you. We lost you for a second there.
Okay, are you there? Am I there?
You're here now. Yeah, you literally were about to go deep on explaining, and then you left us.
I'm going to be a parrot and repeating myself. Okay, now listen. So basically, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So basically, yeah, when I got the vocals in the first place, they were like all in like different tracks. There was like hundreds of them, and crazy. So what I did is I mixed it to the sound that I wanted to hear it, and I think I just put like a little bit of like maybe a filter or a bit of reverb on it, tiny bit, and then I bounced it into one channel, which you can see on channel 22. But this guy's one, I didn't.
You skewing again, I think.
Am I there? Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can definitely hear you. Yes. Haven't got your screen, but yeah, talk us through it.
Oh, is it? Oh shit! Hold on. I'll get the screen for you because I forgot we ain't even done that bit, have we? I'm there showing you what I'm doing, and the thing ain't even sharing. Is it sharing now?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Yeah. So track 22, right? That's the bounce down.
Yeah, this was the bounce down because there was too many, but I didn't bounce down this first MC's one because his vocal was super high and loud, and I didn't want to normalize. I didn't want to squash it or anything. I wanted to keep it like I think it just suited his voice, but it had to be in its own channel. And I didn't put much on that one. But with the others, I basically bounced them all together because they were all like the similar type of levels and stuff. And I just gave them a little tiny bit of filter and a tiny bit of reverb, and that was it. And then you got these little tiny bits here on 24th and 4, where they're just delays.
Okay. So pretty much, before the bounce down, did you have to, apart from using the filters, did you treat them in any way, using, any EQ or compression, or again, were the stems to your liking as they were recorded?
The stems were quite heavy. The stems were quite heavy. When I heard it, I was like, okay, the person who mastered it done pretty well. So there wasn't really much to do to them. It was just to make it into my sound onto my beat because I've got my own way of like making it sit and how I hear it in my own ears, like on my own beats. So I wouldn't just take your vocal and just dash it on my beat. I'd put something on top of it because it will blend in with something that I've used in like the kick or something. Do you know what I mean?
Nice one. Okay, so what was before we get into questions, what would you say was apart from the lots of iterations that you got to before you got to this version that you're really happy with, what was the most challenging aspect of putting this track together and finishing it?
Challenging? No, there wasn't no challenging going on.
Okay.
It was when I got to the moment of this section in the extra kick and snare, and that was when I realized that I know what I'm doing.
Got you.
So I'll play it by itself because that's when I knew I'm on joint.
Yeah, got you. Nice one. Marissa, are you there still? Hello. Left in suspense. Cooly. Okay, let's see how
it says I'm here, and it.
Okay.
Terrible internet connection, guys.
I'm
just trying to stay away from 5G.
Just a little bit. So there's a couple of questions here.
But it looks like I'm gonna have to get 5G.
Well, you know, we can mull on that one as we reach a new phase in our lives. So I've got a couple of questions for you here. One question from Kath, big up Kath. You know, how do you select lyric writing and using your voice? You know, how do you select which lyrics and trains of thought to bring forward into tracks? You know, after a fruitful session. So when you're gathering material and taking inspiration, how do you then start to funnel those lyrics and melodic ideas?
Wait, you've got to start that all again, because I reconnected the Skype. So that was you chatting to yourself the whole time. I'm like, yo, like, what are you talking about?
Well, I'd like to think that, you know, I wasn't totally in isolation. Do you know what I mean? There might be a few people online who heard what I said. Is that true? You heard me, right?
Do you know what I like? What you say?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? That's the inner South London for me.
Do you know what I mean?
You know, and you know what I like about, you know, so equally, I love the way you use the word dramatic. That's
oh my gosh, it's just
word.
so dramatic. Oh my god.
Right. That's just, yeah, it's really, can I start using that? Is that all right? Do you mind?
Right, so, okay, sorry. Your last few words went a bit robot-y. What did you say?
I asked permission to use the word dramatic.
You asked me, what, do you want me to say it again? Or do you want to say it?
I want to start using it.
Oh, please do.
All right. We can so you can use dramatic, you know, you can use my little, you know, my little thing, and I can use.
You've got to say, oh my gosh, dramatic.
Well, you know what? Oh my gosh, this has been a dramatic transmission.
Yeah, like totally.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. We can get me rid of me. So so we had this question from Kath that asked, you know, the question was, you know, how do you select which lyrics and trains of thought to bring forward into your tracks, especially when you've had a fruitful and productive session, bringing it all together.
Oh, okay, is that like about one of my tunes, like
just
me?
in general, in terms of your approach?
Oh, yeah.
Your approach.
When I was doing the song called "Freak You," like I like took a pull of like a spliff. Well, I don't smoke, innit? Mm-hmm. And then I thought I was sexy. I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just overly dramatic. And then I was like, freak you. Like I was just acting crazy. And then it just came out. It was literally, I didn't write down any bars. It was just like flowing out with the music just pumping. And yeah, some of the stuff is like experiences in my brain. Like if where I was cheated on in the past, then I done the song Playing Me, where they're playing me and thinking that I'm a dickhead, but I actually know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I've got like the dancing tune when I used to go raving and guys used to want to dance with me, but I'll be looking at them like, I'm too nice for you. You know them ones, but it's kind of like flirting and stuff like that. And it's all experiences that just pop up in my head. And it just seems like it goes with the beat. Like, think it's just when you're in the groove, things just flow.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know. I don't think like, oh, I'm gonna write a song called like what's one of the songs? Wait Till Night was because I had to wait till night to record the album. Or no, when I was sexually frustrated because I was single and I wasn't gonna give myself up to anybody, so I basically was frustrated and had to wait till night to be a bit,
Yeah, to express
you know
yourself.
what I mean?
Yeah, got you. So I mean, it feels. No, it's great because it feels that a lot of your ideas and lyrics come from just like applying memories, like snapshots of memories, and then obviously drilling it in. But also they're very kind of knee-jerk reactions to literally to life, right? Do you know what I mean? It's like as you said, when things are dramatic, music comes out dramatic. When you feel sexy, the music comes out a particular way. So it's really good to hear that. And I guess we should all, as artists and producers, definitely have an emotional connection to our music, and that can really play itself out, whether it's in lyrics, melodies, or the choice of kick drum or whatever, or how you program. It can definitely add some dynamics and emotion into your music. So that's really good to hear that you do that. There's another question here from the famous Fearless Few. Big up, guys. They've asked, the Adult Swim EP seems very different from the remix you played. What's the common thread? What's the Cooly G factor?
Oh, so obviously, where this track that I've did is not something that I would have done for myself.
Okay.
As you know, because I was trying to do it in the tempo that was matching the vocals. But when I did that track for Adult Swim, when I was just like having those moments where I was up late, I couldn't sleep, I'm just up all night and I'm getting like an hour's sleep, and I'm going and listening to a lot of house music and a couple raves in the ends, and it's just like, that's just the standard Cooly G kind of sound to me, what was on Adult Swim. I think I was trying to get like the beginning bit, the melody. I think I was actually probably thinking of a festival.
Okay.
Like doom 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 doom. It's like just where they're dancing in it. Because most of my tracks are just like, I don't know what people think of them. Like, I know some people say, oh my God, the bass, the drums. But I don't really do much melody stuff because I'm not in that kind of thing. Like, I like it to just be gutter and really deep.
Gully, yeah.
Yeah, the melody thing to me, it's like a problem. Like, I would have to be for a song with like vocals and stuff, but I try not to do too much melodies in my tunes. I like the melody to be in the bass, or the melody to be in the drum pattern. And people can, like real people who listen to the tunes will think, oh my God, like I can actually hear it in that bit like there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the good thing is that, if you really channel your music, and it's the focus is on, drums, rhythm and bass, and melody is used sporadically. It just means that you're really refining the sound, right? And you really got people's attention with the elements that you've chosen to use. Cool. I think we've maybe got time for one more question from our audience. But before I check that out, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about going back to Holiday again, and I get the sense that there's a kind of, you're really excited about the opportunity that you have to almost like really delve into a new character, into a new world of possibility, right? I get the sense that, with Cooly G, you're as that moniker, it's given you this kind of, 10 years plus existence and your journey, peaks and troughs, and it's very much reflected in you as going from being, being a woman. Do you know what I mean? And it's been very much connected to you growing up as a single mother, and it feels to me now your children are a bit older and you've got this kind of, a different sense of freedom now they're a bit older. it almost feels to me that holiday is almost like you know, entering this new phase of motherhood. Do you know what I mean? Where you're a little bit more free, a little bit more open to taking risks in the way that perhaps you couldn't, you know, beforehand. Am I reading it in that way? Is that right to a certain extent?
Kind of, yeah. You're kind of right a little bit, because, you know, like when they were smaller, I think I was more like the anxiety I was telling you about the other day. I had a lot of anxiety and all the time. Just like little things like that, but my confidence, I'm really free, and you know, feel like come with me last year, and we went to Los Angeles, and it was just great. And I was like, wow, them lot are actually big now. Like, this is great. And I just started to feel different. And then I've done 10 years of Cooly G since what? 2009 is when Love Dub came out. 2019 is when I started to gradually build Holiday in the end of last year. Jade has started and Holiday has started, and it just feels really strange that that's happened. It wasn't planned. It was just like natural.
But it's great though, because I think that, you know, yeah. So for those of us who are new to Holiday, how is Holiday different to Cooly G?
Because I'm getting to be able to do the music that I was doing when I was about 15 years old.
Okay.
But now elevated into the like, it's basically, I was doing this before, and I was rapping, I was singing, I was doing the dancing, I was doing everything. And then I got into the Cooly G thing and whatever, and it's like DJing and whatever. But now it's like I'm rebuilding what I actually started on, which you guys haven't even heard. I just found a crazy amount of music from year 2000 to year 2006, 7. Like, I'm talking like tracks and tracks and tracks and tracks. I've gone through all of them, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even like being like, that I found this music just recently, and I'm basically doing a whole new version of it now on Holiday, which is really weird. But I've only just found those CDs, and it's like a revamped version of what I tune called. Oh my God, it's just so sick, yeah. Like, it's musically good, in it, and it's good for people to listen to. This is all about people listening to me, listening to my sound, and getting to watch videos with it.
Of course. Well, we look forward to seeing more Holidays. When's you said you're working on some videos. When should we expect to see you know, some releases and some visuals?
So the first video is already filmed, but I've got to redo
couple
two
of shots, right?
scenes this Saturday, which I wasn't supposed to. Yeah, and then that will probably be finished in another week. So after that, I'll probably like give you some teasers, and then work where I'm going to release it, how I'm going to release it, because I haven't even really got to that bit. It's all just, I'm just flowing, going with the flow.
Great.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course. Well, really look forward to hearing that. So listen, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your production with us. Very much look forward to listening to Holiday. Sorry. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah. But you can say it like this: Holiday.
Holiday. Is that right? Yeah, with my kind of Nigerian.
She's a bit of a
Nigerian Caribbean accent.
She does yardies. We've got
no, I'm really looking forward to it.
She's like she's got a yardie side as well.
Okay, I love it a lot. So thank you once again, and of course thank you our audience for staying with us. Apologies for the connection, but you know how it is living this COVID life. So we've got a couple more sessions for you. Yes, indeed. So our next section is on July the 30th. This is part of our interactive learning series. That's all about track creation and workflow. And then our next up session, CDR online session, is on the 20th of August with Mr. Mitch. There's tickets still available. Find us on socials for more details. CDR HQ Facebook and at CDR_CDR on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you again. So we're going to stop the broadcast for now. We'll be up and running again with the open session. DJ set of new fresh music that you guys have submitted. Please join us on Facebook. There's a live kind of chat so you can give feedback and obviously listen to the music. So we'll see you there shortly. All right. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. In a bit. Thank you.
Ciao.
Cool.